In the heyday of sitcoms and radio waves, one show stood out and took America by storm. WKRP in Cincinnati. This iconic series, which humorously chronicled the on-air and off-air shenanigans at a fictional radio station, won hearts across the nation. But behind the laughter and music, there were also some secrets carefully kept behind studio doors. Join Factsverse as we present WKRP in Cincinnati, secrets that producers hid from fans. Character inspirations. While sitcoms often draw inspiration from real-life scenarios, WKRP in Cincinnati creator Hugh Wilson took this a step further. He breathed life into his characters by taking cues from his family members. One of these was Bailey Quarters, the radio station's sweet-natured but fiercely determined receptionist, who was a mirror image of Wilson's wife. Just like Bailey, his wife was known for her soft-spoken demeanor, which belied a strong sense of determination and an ability to make her voice heard when it truly mattered. Furthermore, the character of Andy Travis, the station's unflappable program director, reflected Wilson's cousin. As it turns out, the world of WKRP was closer to Wilson's reality than one might initially think. The charm of the show was not only limited to its time. The characters were so well crafted and multidimensional that they inspired other characters in later series. Venus Flytrap, played by Tim Reed, was one such character. Venus was renowned for his suave demeanor and popularity with the ladies, always at the center of the social scene with a date on his arm. This charismatic portrayal reminded many of Leon Phelps, the infamous ladies' man, a character created by Tim Meadows on SNL and later in a movie. Meadows has openly acknowledged that Venus Flytrap inspired his creation, adding yet another feather to WKRP in Cincinnati's well-decorated cap. Alternate Dr. Johnny Fever. An interesting tidbit about WKRP in Cincinnati is the fascinating tale of who almost donned the quirky persona of Dr. Johnny Fever. In the initial rounds of casting, David Cassidy, the heartthrob of the Partridge Family fame, was slated to play the eccentric disc jockey. But in a surprising twist, he turned down the role. This led to Howard Hesseman being considered for the role of Herb Tarlek, the station's overzealous ad salesman. But Hesseman had his heart set on playing Johnny and refused to read for any other character. And thus, the iconic Dr. Johnny Fever was born thanks to Hesseman's fiery resolve. Hit songs. The impact of the show reached beyond the realm of television, making waves in the world of music as well. Thanks to its regular feature in contemporary music, the show became a launchpad for several rising bands, propelling them to popularity. Some big names that owe their initial success to WKRP include U2, Toto, the Knack, the Cars, and Devo. But Blondie was the standout band whose career trajectory WKRP had a significant impact on. Their song Heart of Glass, from the album Parallel Lines, was played on the show and subsequently soared to immense popularity. The band expressed their gratitude by donating a gold record to the show, which can be seen hanging in the bullpen during episodes of the second, third, and fourth seasons. The show made a notable contribution with its own theme song, too. The original intro theme song of the series, released by Steve Carlisle in 1979, was expanded into a full-length song that narrated a more extensive story. Fans speculated the story to revolve around Andy Travis, but it was broad enough to apply to Venus Flytrap or Dr. Johnny Fever. This longer version of the theme song garnered substantial popularity and peaked at an impressive number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1981. Saved by Shout Factory. WKRP was a trendsetter in many ways, and one of the factors that set it apart was its innovative use of popular music. Due to a fortuitous loophole in music rights related to videotaping rather than filming, the producers were able to feature hit songs from famous artists at a fraction of the cost. This not only gave the series a unique musical flavor, but it also inadvertently made the soundtrack an essential part of the show's identity. But when the rights expired, reruns of the show had to remove the much-loved music. This audio-visual setback was eventually overcome in 2014. Shout Factory, recognizing the integral role music played in the series, managed to secure the rights to the vast majority of the songs originally featured on the show for its complete series DVD set. This significant accomplishment meant that fans could once again enjoy episodes enriched with music from iconic artists like AC/DC, Bob Dylan, Ray Charles, Otis Redding, The Rolling Stones, and The Who. Shout Factory emphasized that the restoration of most of the original music was vital to reinstating a critical element that contributed to WKRP in Cincinnati's initial appeal. Realistic set. It's often the small details that make a scene or set feel more realistic. On the set of WKRP, those tiny touches came in the form of authentic memorabilia, generously donated by actual radio DJs. These industry professionals, watching a show that portrayed their work life with such accuracy, found themselves thrilled. In a show of appreciation and camaraderie, DJs from across the country started sending in unique items, bumper stickers, posters, and other radio station swag. These were all ultimately used to dress the set of the fictional WKRP. The enthusiasm wasn't limited to radio professionals outside Cincinnati. The news director of WEBN-FM, Craig Kopp, sent the WKRP production team a package filled with quintessential Cincinnati memorabilia. Inside, they found empty La Rosa's pizza boxes, Skyline chili bags, and bottles of local favorites Little Kings and Hoodapole. He also included an I Love Norwood bumper sticker. Weird suits. Known for his unconventional fashion sense, character Herb Tarlek certainly made a memorable sartorial statement. His outrageous style was not simply for comedic effect, it reflected a quirky aspect of the reality behind the scenes. One of the show's enduring inside jokes comes to life in the second season in an episode called Put Up or Shut Up. Venus Flytrap ribs Herb about his gaudy attire, remarking, quote, "Somewhere out there there's a Volkswagen with no seats." This quip offers more than just a chuckle, as it turns out that Herb did in fact don an actual suit made from Volkswagen seat covers on the show. This ingenious and somewhat absurd detail underlines the authenticity and creativity the producers employed to add depth and originality to their characters. Show's inspiration. While many TV shows draw inspiration from a range of sources, from personal experiences to societal issues, the creative seed for WKRP in Cincinnati was planted by a unique muse, a song. Specifically, it was the touching narrative woven by Harry Chapin in his song WOLD that resonated with series creator Hugh Wilson. The song's lyrical story of a radio DJ, heard by many but seen by none, struck a chord and presented Wilson with an idea ripe for sitcom adaptation. The lyrics of WOLD depict the life of a DJ playing all the hits for listeners. The song portrays a character who has some regrets but accepts his chosen life of spinning records. Upon hearing the song, Wilson was struck by the potential of this premise for a sitcom. It offered a relatable protagonist and an interesting environment that could serve as a backdrop for myriad comedic situations and heartfelt moments. Now it's time to hear from you. Which detail of WKRP in Cincinnati was most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below.